Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Woo Woo Wednesday. So it's anything goes. We're going to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff, everything that you might wonder. We're just going to ask questions, and everybody gets to think for themselves. This is about challenging some critical thinking. So put your thinking caps on, do your own research, and we'll see you on the other side of this. Give us a like and share this video. Hey, public, how are you doing?
Howdy. I'm doing well.
Howdy.
How are you?
Good.
How do you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Very good.
Headed out to my third day of jiu-jitsu after the show today. So
Nice.
I'm making it back, challenging myself and learning new things every time I go. So I think it's a good thing.
It is definitely a good thing. You're going to get some cauliflower ear going?
No, I'm buying. So I need to buy a tooth guard thing.
Well, yes.
Because once you start, so we've been doing like drills.
Because teeth are to chew and smile.
So we've been doing drills, but then once you start rolling, like they smack you, bump your head into each other. Like they do this thing where they grab your nose sometimes, and you will get your teeth knocked out.
Absolutely.
And so you need to get a tooth guard thing, and you need to get the cauliflower ear thing. But like we don't really go that hard right now. I mean, like
you will.
It's my daughter and this other woman that's a purple belt, and she helps me. Like we talk through like the moves, and one other girl that I've rolled with. So I'm just going slow. I'm slow my roll.
Nice.
Right now.
It's funny though. Honestly, it takes one little slip, one weird bump of the head, and yeah, you could be.
Well, I have 3 vertebrae that are fused in my neck from having bulging discs, and then a chiropractor didn't look at the x-ray before he came in, and he just cranked on my neck and they exploded and ruptured.
I didn't know that part. Holy
cow.
cow.
I have a metal plate in my neck.
That I knew.
3 of my vertebrae are fused. And so I'm always, and this is the other thing, like the Shijitsu thing that we're doing is really cool. The instructor is like, you need to talk to your partner, let them know your injuries. And then, especially when you're new, because there's certain moves that don't hurt until you're injured.
Right.
Like there's this one, it's this thing with your leg lock thing, or this ankle. No, it was a heel lock. It was one of the things we did the very first day that they were like, new people cannot do this because it doesn't hurt until it until
something happens.
Yeah, it can blow your knee. And so if you're experienced, you know how far, and then you know when to tap out. Well, if you're a new person, it just doesn't hurt, and then
pop.
And so they taught the new people a different move, so you could learn to tap out, to know when to tap out earlier or whatever. So because it's not about hulking around on each other or
no, it's leverage. It's all leverage and using the other person's motions and momentum and force against them. Yeah, absolutely.
It's about like submission. Carly wrote this really cool stuff. This was where I really got interested in talking about. She was talking about where is it?
When you get the cauliflower, the headgear, it's called headgear. It's not called cauliflower protector. But when you get the headgear, can you get ones that look like Princess Leia? Like Come on, they have to make something like that. Like, how cool would that be?
I don't really want to do that, but thank you.
Maybe you'll distract people enough that you could just go in and whoop their ass. They'll be like, oh,
I
Princess
got my
Leia.
gi though yesterday, or at the last class. Carly gave me one of her gis, and so I got my first gi. Oh, where's a picture? Hold on.
Very cool.
Yeah, I shared it on Twitter.
Is it the lighter ones that are sort of kind of breathable, but they have other ones that are like
this is
thick, like
hot. It's
painting
thick.
canvas? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because you have to, something about, because part of it is you like use your gis to choke people out.
That's great.
Where is that picture?
I never did any martial arts with really any groundwork at all. I was focused on ones that were striking.
See, I'm not interested in hitting anyone or getting hit in the face, but I know that does happen.
Yeah, it does. You'll catch an elbow to the nose at some point.
Oh, Mom's hiding people accidentally. Again, she must be gardening.
Gardening and looking into the sun, pushing buttons.
Yeah. Oh. It's like a badge of honor if you get hidden by Nana accidentally. So I apologize. And she got your mom, so she got other mama.
I got hid once by Nana. Maybe twice. Maybe twice.
It's a badge of honor. She's walking upstairs with laundry. She says.
She's not putting the chickens up yet.
Not yet. It's still early. Yeah, so I got my first gi, and we did a first gi class. But anyway.
That's cool, though. Very cool. Congratulations.
Very cool. Thank you. It's challenging, but it's good.
The workouts are good. I mean, you get your flexibility, you get your strength training, you get speed, agility.
Well, it's encouraged me to do yoga on the weekend because I'm such a small person that, like, when I was rolling with some of the taller girls, especially, like, for me to get my foot over around one girl's hip and then my knee up by her head really fast, like, that's a lot of woman to cover sometimes.
Yep.
You know? So,
indeed. Yeah, definitely flexibility is always great. So what kind of conditioning do they do? A lot of running, push-ups, drills, a lot of drills.
No, none of that. None of that. I guess that's
time?
like so we do training, like moves, and then you can roll, and then and then you roll for like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. It's up to you, open mat. Wow. And then after that, then there are like classes every day or different days. So there's like co-ed classes. There's Shijitsu is like 2 days a week, I think. And then there's co-ed classes, which that's what I did the first time. That was intimidating because there's like this one 300-pound 6'4" guy that was like, "Hey, you want to roll?" And I was like, "No, it's my first day and you're ginormous." But he was really sweet, great guy. But I was just like, no, that's terrifying. And so
the veterans in dojos are usually really stand-up people.
Everyone I have met at this place has been so humble, kind, and they really love like teaching. It's like they're excited that a new person is there, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go over? What did you learn today?" And they're really great about like, well, when I was learning that move, this was something that I missed, or this was, and everything builds on itself, like Carly taught me, this point. And then when I rolled with that purple belt, well, she was teaching me the next step on it, so it's been really, really cool. Just to learn all of that. So
the environment is everything with training and martial arts. If you have a cool place, you're excited to go, you're excited to learn, you don't get burned out too hard, too fast. So you don't want to be exhausted. You want to get a good sweat going. You don't want to get exhausted.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I'm definitely, and it feels good to use your body, especially with the vid and all this. like we've been trapped in our homes or not, you know, walking as far or going, you know, I was like walking 5 and 6 miles a couple times a week with some friends and all that. And then, you know, winter, or then it gets really hot in the summer or whatever. And this is something, it's a big gym and they don't have air conditioning. They have these big fans and stuff. And it's
Right.
like 90 degrees. It's really hot, but still, so you get pretty hot, but you're really, you know, moving around and using your whole body. And one of the things one of the girls said that I was talking with, she was like, you know, as a woman, you're taught like, you know, to be little and not take up your whole body and don't make big movements and, you know, all this. And she's like, in jujitsu, you use your whole body, like you take up your whole body and you take power over your whole body, and it's just a whole different mindset. I don't
Yep.
know, it's like the whole thing of taking someone down to the ground is just a complete mind, you know what, to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it is something I'm still having to really get used to, where I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you know,
Slam.
I know I just signed a waiver, you know, that says we can beat each other up, but you still want to apologize, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yep. That'll go away in like month 2.
yeah. Yeah.
One of the very cool one of the most important things I think I learned doing martial arts for a few years was to be put in a situation that you're being attacked and someone's literally trying to beat you up,
Mhm.
you know, and it kind of
Or
translated.
submit to you. That's
Right.
what we talk about. It's about submitting the other person.
Right. So
Mhm.
it made me feel a lot more comfortable whenever any of those situations have come around, because you're not shocked by it. You're not like surprised, like, you know, oh, you know, like your nerves don't automatically, your adrenaline doesn't start pumping so much, and you don't like move around and make quick moves and anything. It got me kind of like a muscle memory thing almost, where
'Cause you have a
when I was put
plan.
in, when you're put in these stressful scary situations, and you focus and you learned process of how to get through something like that. I was big into it for a while. I was going like 4 or 5 times a week for double classes for a while.
Oh,
And
wow.
my what was it? My father, what did my father do? We were at work, and what did he do? He cut his finger or something. Like he screwed his hand up pretty bad or something. And you know, I was like, oh, you know, whatever, Dad, you know, let's get you to the hospital. So we got him into the hospital. He got all stitched up and sewed up. And as they discharged him, he was out within a few hours, all sewn up and everything. And he was out after a few hours, and he didn't want to wait. They gave him some medication, and he didn't want to wait. He had stuff to do, you know, work stuff to do or whatever. So he just wanted to get home. So he convinced them to let him leave. Well, it turns out about 20, 30 minutes later, he started to have a really, really, really bad reaction to some of the antibiotics that they had given him. So
Oh, gosh.
he calls me up. He's like, Jay, you know, I'm on the side of the road on this highway, maybe 15 minutes from here. And he's like, my tongue is filling up my mouth. My lips are swollen, and I'm having trouble breathing.
My husband,
Right.
that happened to him. Was it sulfa? Was it a
No,
sulfa
no, it was the
penicillin or not
it,
sulfa meth?
uh, is quinolone one of them?
I don't know.
There's a group of really, really strong antibiotics, whatever. I think it's
Okay.
the quinolones. And he just had a nasty, nasty reaction to it. So he's like, I don't know. He's like, do I turn around? Do I go back to the hospital and try and get help? So I'm like, no, you won't make it. At this point, you could hear his voice. Like he was getting pretty full in the mouth. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know, Dad, just relax. I jump in my car. I go flying over down the highway. We leave his car on the side of the road. I throw him in my car and we get going. That was one of the most stressful, panicky situations that I think I've been in. And I always go back to kind of the training that I was in at the time. It taught me to keep a cool head, make a plan, and stay focused on it. Because I mean, if I really think that if I was just normal me and what I would have started to panic. His mouth was like like this, like this big, like he had cheeseburgers and for lips, and his tongue was literally like he would open his mouth and just like the end of the
Did you
tongue.
bring a Benadryl with you?
I didn't think that much ahead, but he was only about he was only about 10 or 15 minutes from the hospital once I got him. So I flew 100 miles an hour. He had this cool two-door Cadillac at the time that had like the Corvette engine in it. So I was like, use any excuse to go rip it down the highway in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is just one of those things that martial arts has a lot of other outside
applications.
Benefits. Not just fighting or self-defense or conditioning. There's a lot more that goes to it. There was a lot of the stuff that I always valued from doing that for so long.
Yeah. No, it's been really cool. I mean, I've seen the change, like we talked about in the video with Carly, on Monday. Just the dramatic change I've seen in her and how beautiful, just let her open up and be so confident. And I love it for her. And I want that for every woman, every person, if it can, allow them to feel that confident and safe and empowered. And I want it for myself. And so I'm going to challenge myself and go do it. And I feel like this is a really, strong thing for me. So I'm going to be 50 this year, and I did all these goals for myself, and part of, wanting to help others, I have to be in a strong place myself to be able to help others. So, put on that oxygen mask, not other kind of mask, because I am unafraid, unmasked, and unjabbed.
Nice. Amen.
Made this shirt, so yeah.
Amen.
So yeah.
I love it. Congratulations, though. That's a really cool thing. I hope you stay with it for a long time. Yeah. Got to do those things. Hey, if we're not dying, we better be living. So, I wondered what your thoughts on this Woo Woo Wednesday. Mm-hmm. There were these at this Platinum Jubilee. They've been planning this, and we knew this was going to be weird. They had, Harry and what's her face walking in, and Boris walking in, and they were showing it on like mainstream media, and they just had the sound off, and they were like, oh, look at them walking in. And then you would go on alternative media and you could hear the crowds booing them. Yep.
That was incredible. I showed some of that yesterday with Satoshi Sean. And then there was this video where they're saying, oh, I need to take my AirPods out because you guys aren't going to be able to hear it.
They're saying it was a hologram, but the weird part was it was a black and white hologram.
Yes.
It's a car made of solid gold.
To the nation she made
They couldn't
coronation. We can see inside the carriage a representation of the Queen as she came back from her coronation wearing the imperial state crown.
Can you guys see that?
Comments of Her Majesty in the address to the nation she made at the end of her coronation. We can see inside the carriage a representation of the Queen as she came back from her coronation wearing the imperial state crown and holding the scepter and the orb, waving to those who are on either side of the mall.
So it's a hologram that's been created especially, Joanna. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Fantastic. And it's in black and white, which makes it even more sort of eerily thrilling in a funny way. And to think that the Queen, maybe at Windsor still, is sitting and seeing that.
Maybe.
And she was 27 at the time. She'd come to the throne at 25, and all of us may have relations who are at that age now. And the thought that at 25, someone suddenly becomes head of state.
I thought it was funny that they said, maybe she's at...
Yep.
The Queen may be at Windsor.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Watching this. And I thought, okay, it has to be some more of that. Is that bothering you to hear yourself?
I don't hear myself.
Okay, good. Is this some more of that? How many times have they shown people? They did it in black and white so people wouldn't be like, they could say, oh, that's a hologram because it's in black and white. But is this soft, more of that soft disclosure, people? Remember when they used to see, that we saw that hologram and it looked so real? Well, now they're going to see one. Remember when you saw them in, because then there was this one more recently with the Pope. How many times has the Pope ridden in a Pope mobile? Think about the Queen going by in that little mobile. Then there was this Pope mobile going by. And I'm like, yeah, you think that's not a little hologram too?
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime they're surrounded in glass like that, sure. They have really good holograms too that we've never seen, like really good stuff.
Well, remember, was it last Easter? Or maybe it was the Easter before, since the vid time is so weird to me.
Indeed.
But the one where he walked out on the balcony and then he was walking back and he just disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was that
10 years ago?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, here, the CGI where he disappeared through a wall.
Yeah.
And she would know.
Mm-hmm. Some people know stuff.
Some people know things. So
we're talking good holograph stuff though, where you can't tell. They even have ones at this point where you can actually feel something. It's not matter. It tricks your senses into believing it's matter.
Okay, so I stopped by a place the other day to talk to my friend about getting a Apache tier, because that's what my friend who did the reading for me the other day told me that I need right now for part of my grief work. And she was like, oh, I talked to one of her friends and she said the energy right now, that there's new energy here right now. And I don't know if this is part of that Schumann resonance thing, or I can't remember what she said, but there's like a plasma. I don't know. Something where like something about her hand moving and like, I can't remember how she said it. Something like you could see something about the movement of her hand, or you could see through her hand moving or her fingers moving or something. Something about the vibration was different.
Yeah.
You saw it. I don't know.
No.
And it made me think of like a hologram kind of thing.
Yeah. It's all frequencies, right? It's all frequencies are what our mind sees, hears, understands, smells in, and all our senses. Even there's many other senses than the few that we know. Sure. But you're seeing auras, that's just another frequency. That's just another spectrum of light and wavelengths that our eyes no longer see. Maybe we could at some point. Animals can see that stuff. There's many animals out there that see on different spectrums of light and frequencies and wavelengths that we're not aware of.
Is that why like dogs will like be drawn to some people and not to others, or like they'll like certain people and not other people? Do you think?
I certainly believe so. I certainly believe, yeah. There's we just don't know. Well, I'm sure people know. Somebody knows what animals can see and how they sense things. There's a lot more to that for sure. Like one of the first hologram concerts was Tupac, wasn't it, in Vegas? I
don't know.
I believe it was. I believe one of the first few ones. Tupac, Michael Jackson did it. Had these holograms. They have ones now that work with some kind of mist or something. Also, it's supposed to be like incredibly like high definition stuff where you can like look right at it and you can't tell, you can't see through. Crazy stuff that's going on. They always show us the stuff in movies from, Star Wars. Think about Star Wars. What was it, the late 70s, help me, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. But they just made it seem like, oh, this is so crazy. It just looks like some light flashing around. But what do they say? The mill has 40, 50 years technology ahead that we have no idea exists.
I haven't heard that.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's like a, for every year that goes on, the whatever you want to call it, agencies add another 5 years or something like that to their, something crazy. Yeah. There's technology. The technology we know is old, discarded, used up technology that was released out to us while they keep inventing all the new stuff. And
Is
have
that to keep us under their control?
I would certainly assume. I
Like
mean, why
back
give
in the
us the
day, they
good
didn't want
toys?
the slaves to know how to read
Yeah,
because they were afraid they'd become free. So it's that kind of same mindset.
I would believe so. I would definitely believe so. You know, they don't want to give us the good stuff until they've used it all up. They've made all the money on it. They've, you know, they've drawn all they could from it, and they have something so much better that then we get released out of something new and crazy. You know,
I have heard them talking a lot about nuclear energy lately. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about nuclear. I mean, I think, you know, a lot of it doesn't make sense when they talk about, oh, these nuclear reactors and explosion, you know, and the kids were all, which we have to be careful how we talk about all this, but the kids were damaged, you know, and,
Right.
but then none of the animals were.
Right.
That's very weird to me. And everybody can do their own critical thinking and research for themselves on that kind of stuff. We
Right.
won't go into that too much, but those are the kind of things where I think, you know, they do have information on that they're not releasing to us for whatever reasons.
I know I have some friends who believe that nuclear is, it doesn't exist at all like we've been told. You know, if we think about, you know, all this, you know, mainstream media stuff, and it's been teaching us for so long, we have to remember, although a lot of us sometimes we can feel like this just started to be like this has been like this for generations. We've been listening to their visions when they're telling a vision for generations at this point, and things that you learn when you're young, just as you grow up, those things become normal and accepted to the point where you're not thinking critically at all about that stuff anymore. So if this has gone on for so long at this point, and my parents believe this, and my grandparents believe this, and my great grandparents believe this, we would never question it. So we just accept it all as normal. So I think there's, I've watched some documentaries where they make really good cases that even the ones in Japan, there was nothing nuclear there. There were just large explosions, traditional explosions. I mean, the half-life of a lot of those materials that they use can be hundreds or thousands of years, but yet after, you know, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they just rebuilt. Why isn't the cancer rate like 50 million% in the middle of these?
That's what
places?
I have heard, that it's actually really clean energy, and that it's, that we're being misled to keep people away from those locations. So,
but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I just know something doesn't smell right. And that's the way I look at stuff.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't smell right, I certainly don't believe it. You know, I'm not saying no, but I'm saying I don't believe the narrative, the story of things.
The story of things. There's another story that I'm struggling with, and I don't know, and I don't have any information other than what's being passed around. But there's some weird stuff being passed around about this story, saying there's no birth records for any of these short people. And then it goes into talking about, there's a video for this that explains it. Then they go into this Wayback Machine talking about, let's see, no record of this. Also talks about the location. Let's see.
The Wayback Machine is really great. You can find a lot of stuff on there. It can be edited. It's not edit proof, but if you go searching there sooner than later after something happens that you want to find out about before it can have a chance to be messed with too much. There's a lot of good information on the Wayback Machine.
There was another post. I may have to go look in the. I think I may have to look in another. That talked about the location being owned by a 3-letter agency for trainings. Let me see if I can find it without having to make you guys look at all that scrolling.
Scrolly. I like Leader's comment there. We are hard light. Absolutely. We are physical light. Very well said.
Which light is a frequency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything is just like, I love the way Cliff explains it. Where, like, we can touch stuff and we can feel it, but when you zoom down far enough into a microscope, there with a microscope, there's really nothing there. It's just little bits and particles vibrating around at different speeds. It's always fascinating. That whole thought process has always fascinated me.
This is where I wish you had an iPhone, because I can't see our text on my computer.
Oh no. No, I like phones that work properly. Sorry. And you don't have to buy a new one every 6 months when the next one comes out.
I know.
Uh-huh.
It makes me crazy.
Shout out to the chat, guys. Thanks for joining. All my homies there. I haven't been to a meetup in so long. I don't even remember. When was the last meetup I was at? Was that like Florida?
Oh, that was December. That's crazy.
Was there one after? Was there one in January? I don't remember.
Yeah, we were in, we went to Bix's and I went to. Well, no. I don't think we've been to one since.
February, March, April, May, June. Oh, God, it's been 6 months. I really wanted to go to Westwoods this weekend. I just, this weekend or next weekend? I just can't.
Next weekend. This weekend, I'm going to Consensus. And then next weekend, I'll be at Westwoods.
Yeah, I really wanted to go.
We still have a couple of, I need to put the banner up. We still have a couple of seats at the VIP dinner, which is going to be epic. We have transportation, and food and drinks.
Good call.
Me. So you can go to my website, litecoinlisa.net, and here, I'll show you guys.
That's a good call. Transportation. Those things are epic. Those dinners, those after dinners are crazy.
They're pretty fun. There's a lot of networking too.
Yep.
So you go to litecoinlisa.net, and then right here where it says contact, you click this contact, and there's a little form right here. Put your name and your email and just say, send me info on how to purchase a ticket for VIP at Westwoods, or just put VIP dinner Westwoods, submit. And then that sends me an email, and I'll send you back that you can pay on PayPal, Cash App, or send crypto to me. And if you want crypto, let me know what kind of coin, so I know what address to send you back. And then it's just $250. And we have, like I said, transportation. And
I think I spent more than that on dinner and drinks when we went out for that dinner. So that's kind of a deal.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And it's going to be a great event. So
Jim Montgomery just said rubber alligator prank.
It wasn't rubber.
It wasn't rubber. It was a real alligator, but that was the
alligator.
best. It was a real alligator head. All the shenanigans. It's a lot of fun. I mean, that's where we saw Blind Dave do his dancing for the first time.
Sorry, Jim. I know I haven't responded. I had a late family thing last night. We have a couple things going on right now, but I do have you. I've got you covered. I got you, Jim.
I got you, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't been to any of these meetups. I miss all my homies. You get used to, it was such a cool thing getting out of the beginning of the vid where everybody was just stuck home for a while, and then that first meetup, in the very beginning, and getting out, and it was just so great. Actually, I think the first one was actually even before, right? Westwood's first one was 19, wasn't it?
Oh gosh, no. Well, I have a shirt.
I have my shirt. I just found my shirt too. That's funny.
I have, so when we do Papa's event or the Team Mighty event, I have some of these original tees that are Papa's that are going to be auctioned.
Nice.
No, this is 2020 Genesis. So, but I know we were there in 19, but I think this was the first like big.
The first one was hand drawn, wasn't it? Or was that an extra Nana one?
Yes, I also have the Nana hand drawn shirt.
I just found my Nana hand drawn one.
Yes, that I did it, and somehow it uploaded in yellow. And then when I called Custom Ink, they were like, "Oh no, it will print in black, no problem." And then they printed them all in yellow.
It's all in yellow.
Mom's like, "We'll send them back," and we didn't have time. But so it's kind of like it's a one-off.
Those are cool shirts too. I have a tank top. I have one black and white, and I have a tank top too.
Yeah. So we have all those, and then sorry, I just
easy tiger
kicked my table. So we've got all those.
I'm wearing my first shitcoin shirt here.
Oh, very nice.
Just kind of minor flex right here. It's just a minor flex.
I never got a shirt when I went to the first one.
It's the first one. I'm just saying. Rice got this for me.
I went to the first one, but I didn't buy a shirt. I didn't know there were shirts there.
Yep. Definitely. Thank you, Rice Crypto, for this. Rice surprised me with it.
Mm-hmm. Look at Nana. She's all pouty. Ruined it.
It didn't, Nana. I wear mine.
I still have it.
Aren't the error coins and the error cards worth more anyway? I'm just
That's
saying.
true. That is very true. That's very true. So,
what were we talking about? Holograms.
Well, no, I had moved on to. I was trying to find that one tweet, but which, of course, now I can't find it. Where it talked about the. It literally said that it was a F 3-letter location. But here's some more interesting news. Speaking of the FBI, they seized. This is the other stuff that's coming out, is that they're showing that not only is our FBI getting turned over for maybe not being so honest, then now our military is being exposed, or individuals within. So when I open up this article, it says this former general has been, who led us and NATO forces in Afghanistan until he stepped down to join the Brookings Institution Research Group. So it says that he may face potentially criminal charges for working behind the scenes to influence the U.S. foreign policy in favor of the small but wealthy Persian Gulf nation. So he was doing business dealings with the government of Qatar and violates the Foreign Agents Registration Act. So pretty crappy.
Yeah. There's apparently some bad players who are
John R. Allen. So
that's a lot of medals right there. He's got some.
Yeah,
a lot going on right there. Law being investigated. Wow, that's not the. I don't even know what that's not a Logan Act kind of thing, is it?
I think they say in the article what it is. That. Let's see. What did I just say? Violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA.
FARA. That's FARA out.
Mm-hmm. These FARA violations are willful. And he failed to disclose his business dealings with U.S. officials. He provided a false version of events. And let's see. He claims to produce relevant email messages in responses to an earlier grand jury subpoena.
Interesting. It's the military. I mean, I hold the military in such high regard, especially for soldiers who are out there fighting for us, for our whole country, for us individually, for us collectively. And just to see how a lot of these management people are doing things behind the scenes, it's sad. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the social media coming out from the military. The Marines had like some crazy Flag Day kind of thing and Pride kind of thing. And like since when did that matter? Since when is that part of the military?
But that's where, when we read through that National Defense Authorization Act, where all the power got put over to the Space Force and the National Guard. And that's
Right.
where I think that this is what you're going to see, that these criminal people that are in the military are going to get called out. And that's probably why, because they're going to, put it back in the hands of the National Guard.
Yeah.
Which actually is a big part of our military. When I had that talk with Trek, and he's like, no, a lot of when Bush 2, took a lot of our military has really already been, is very small.
That's why they were sending all our National Guard,
our National
weekend
Guard
guys over to Iraq and the Middle East over there. And that's not supposed to happen. They're supposed to guard home. They're the National Guard, not the Iraqi Guard.
Right. Remember when you were saying like how your local National Guard has been empty and you haven't seen people there for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're seeing people, and I was like, well, maybe they've been deployed. And then we're like, wait, they're not supposed to be deployed.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be deployed. I don't know if that's going on now that some other guy is pretending to be in the White House. I don't.
But maybe they're back home now. Maybe that's done. I don't know.
All I know is that the amount of vehicles that are in some of the lots are astounding. These are giant, full city block, 2 city blocks in a row. This one armory in New Jersey here, it's huge, huge, huge. And every time I've driven by, you see a couple things in there, a couple vehicles, a couple big trucks and everything like that. But last time I went through, man, that thing's packed. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of vehicles in there. All large armored personnel carriers, trucks, machines that I don't even know what the heck they do. Interesting. I don't know why.
Mom had printed like 4 of Uncle Cliff's reports for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I had Trek with 2 Ks on, and he was talking, he remembered that Uncle Cliff's data with the where the military was going to get stuck over there somewhere in Europe, and they wouldn't be able to come back because of not being able to pay for fuel because the dollar wouldn't be accepted.
Okay.
And so I'm going to dig through these babies and try to find where that is. Hopefully by next Wednesday, I'm going to take them with me to my Austin trip.
Nice.
Maybe and be able to dig them and find it. But I'm just really curious if that was a temporal marker for something or what that kind of lined up with and where we are on the timeline of things. Because, a lot of this stuff has been so accurate. It's just that it either got pushed back or,
right. The time frames can be off a little bit because free will, people, stuff like that.
Right.
But did you see what Cliff posted in his Substack today?
I have not today.
So there's one good post here. He has it says, I'm thinking we are heading into the crypto TM of the several thousands of dollar swings in BTC in a single day. Maybe that will last 20 or so days, always edging upward. It will be the last gasp of the banks as their financial systems break open for all to see. Maybe it will take off in July, maybe August. Once the oscillation run starts, we will be able to anticipate the end as well as see which banks will be failing first. And that's now. And I look up and Lisa's gone.
I'm sorry. Say it again. Something
You know what? Everyone else heard it.
headed into the crypto TM. What?
So Cliff says, I'm thinking we're heading into the crypto TM of the several thousands of dollar swings in BTC in a single day. Maybe that will last 20 or so days and always edging upwards. It will be the last gasp of the banks as their financial system breaks open for all to see. Maybe it will take off in July, maybe August. Once the oscillation run starts, we will be able to anticipate its end as well as see which banks will be failing first. So that kind of goes along with what you were just saying. It's like we're at this point now. It's this summer is going to be the point. One of these.
What's your vote for what bank goes first? Or
Oh boy.
Yes.
I mean, investment house versus regular community banking. I mean.
Oh, for sure, but.
Yeah, I think it would have to be. I think. I mean, what's the big daddy? What's the most popular? It's got to be J.P. Morgan, right? I mean,
Do you think Chase goes down first?
Well, you know what? It used to be called J.P. Morgan Chase, and now it's called J.P. Morgan and then Chase. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think they're all tied together, sort of, anyway, right?
Yeah, I say Bank of America goes down first.
It could.
They have had so many closings and so much weird stuff.
How about the Fed? That's a bank.
But not the 44 plus one that met with the El Salvador president.
Mm-hmm.
Not the ones that aren't invited to the G7 meetings and the G20 meetings.
Right.
They'll be the ones that get to stay.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of the small savings and loans.
Those will be the good Fed, the ones that aren't invited.
Right.
It's like being the kids, the dorks at school that finally get to like be the cool kids. It's like going to college and realizing like, oh no, the nice people are the cool people.
Yep.
Not the mean people in high school.
Yep.
You know?
That's
what it's going to feel like when we finally get to win.
Yeah.
It's going to be like when you went to college and you were like, oh, the nice people win.
Mm-hmm.
Not the mean people.
That's perfect. That's a perfect way to put it. I think we're coming up on that time soon. But you and I have been sitting on these here interwebs saying this for 2 years now.
I know.
And yeah, I love hopium.
I'll never give up.
Best. It's the best high ever, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Hopium for me, please. Because you know what? Even if it's not coming true now, you're still putting the intention out there. You're still putting those vibes out there, and things do come back. What you give, you get. You know what, and that's so I give that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'll have a video out tomorrow. I interviewed Colin Pape from Presearch. This is so cool, guys. This is a decentralized search engine. So no more Google. You don't have to get force-fed, spoon-fed research results that you're like, no, I was literally asking for this, not what you're trying to force me. This is like decentralized search results, and you get paid their token for using it. So because you're giving them your attention, you get rewarded with a token. And if you use my referral, then you get you're eligible for a 25 token bonus. So in the description of this is my very first video that I'm promoting it. You can go down and then register or log in and sign up to use Presearch, register for Presearch, and that way you're using a decentralized. They also have a way to, after you've registered, you can run a node so that if you are not using your computer, you can use that computing power to be running a node. And if they're needing to use your computing power and you want to let them, you can get rewarded for that with more token. So that's another way you can be part of the freedom movement. And also their pre-search is the number 2 search engine to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, to sending people to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So if you have a crypto-based company, or you're looking to capture people that are in crypto and want those eyes on your business, this would be a great company to advertise with. So those were the big things that I got out of the interview. But I'll post that tomorrow, and I'll do a premiere on it so we can all be in the live chat tomorrow at noon.
Very cool.
And so you guys watch for that. But I thought it was really cool. And
It is.
it's a cool freedom thing, something we can feel empowered right now when sometimes we don't feel like we're in control of a lot of other things. So,
and hopefully they don't listen to you through your phone. So when you're having a conversation about purple dog biscuits, and then a half an hour later, ads for purple dog biscuits starts popping up on your phone. I'm just saying.
We all get ads for purple dog biscuits tonight. I'm so sending you screenshots.
Have you seen those videos yet where the guy puts his phone down and literally has a conversation with himself for 20 minutes about the most obscure thing? I think one of them was green Kong dog toys, purple dog biscuits, like yellow canary sweaters, just like the most odd things in the world. And literally he would pull up his phone and just show you. He would go into social media and just every other ad was what he just spoke about. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, we knew this, but it's still
obnoxious,
stunning.
in your face.
It's stunning to see. And it takes it from that woo-woo place to no, this is the actual proof in my hand. This is happening. And if it's happening with that, you just have to ask yourself, what else?
Well, and I think that's that hologram thing where they're just rubbing it in your face. And everybody's like, yep, we're all sitting here clapping. And why is the hologram walking with guards? Like, why do they need guards for the hologram? Who's guarding? What is there to guard?
I don't know. Maybe Ghostbusters is going to come set down one of them little traps and suck it up with the light. Maybe. I don't know.
Stuck in the hologram.
There you go. It may happen. I'm just saying.
It's ridiculous.
I know. It's a crazy, crazy world we're in. And it is bizarro land.
I know you've got a boogie and I've got a boogie. Thanks to everybody in the chat that's joining us. You guys are the best. We're the best community. I love all of you so much. We're going to be back tomorrow. The US cryptocurrency bill was leaked. Imagine that. There's a lot of leaking going on. I put it out there for my Patreon. So if you're on Patreon, go check it out.
And it's not just in Sleepy Joe's trousers.
Yeah, somebody go wipe him.
No, let him sit in it and get irritated. That diaper rash will hurt for a little bit. Good.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
if you're not on my Patreon, please go consider checking that out. I send all my research that I find when I'm looking for content for the show. It goes there first. Patreons always get first dibs and contact and connection with me. So please consider that to support the channel. I appreciate it. And we'll be talking about that tomorrow with Johnny Litecoin and see what else he's up to. So you never know. So
Johnny's always up to something exciting.
Don't want to make Johnny mad.
Don't want to get Johnny angry.
You guys take care. I'll see you tomorrow on the new normal. Take care.